Good morning, all. Very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club. And in today's Sunday Club, we are going to share something really exciting and something really helpful for you to take back and apply. So let's get started. This is our every Sunday ritual that we start with some positive quotes. And today, again, starting with something similar. If anyone tells you that you will fail, ask for their fortune telling lie. This is my one of the favorite NLP quotes where it talks about that nobody has got the right kind of reject you to say that you will fail. And it's even if it is you or your own internal dialogue that say that, you have to ignore it at times. Okay. If it is not a resounding yes, then it is a no. Many a times if people are not saying yes to what they want, it exactly is not a full commitment. So, how do you know that if somebody is committed or somebody is not committed to a particular action? Is when they are in their body language, in their mind, and in their actions, fully saying yes to it. So, this is for you to observe that in your own behavior, how can you make a yes for a change more powerful yes for a change? All right. Now, this is not about the flexibility of the body, but the quote says that blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent of shape. So it's not a yoga like posture, which is flexibility. The flexibility, even in yoga, if you read, it starts from the mind. The flexibility of the mind that results in flexibility of the body, the flexibility of life. So it is important for us to make sure that in our mind we have those options ready for us. We are ready with a flexible approach. So while it is important to be persistent, but at the same time, always be flexible in your approach. You know, I want to just share with you another quote of neuro-linguistic programming. It said that person with the highest flexibility in a particular situation is going to win. So that means that in any situation, never run out of your options, never run out of your flexibility, and always that can do mind. Moving on, this is about life. Is there a life before death? Yeah, so many a times people are just talking about life after that, and they blame it on their circumstances, they blame it on the experiences they had, they blame it on the parents, they blame it on the government, they blame it on everybody apart from themselves to live a wholesome life. Okay? And it's not about life after death, but life before death, which is so much more amazing. Every moment is amazing, whether we have what we want or not. But just for the mere fact that we are alive, we are breathing, it means that there's so much more possibilities in life. I think that is what Steve Andreas meant when he said that, is there a life before death? Yes, there is definitely a lot of life before. And this one is my favorite, which is, just like keeping your feet on the sand of a shore and just feeling the waves. For anything good to happen, grounding needs to happen, which means you need to feel the ground. You need to feel and be aware of your presence. A beautiful scene like this or a beautiful setting like this, what does it remind us? It reminds us not only of how vast the ocean is, but it also reminds us how vast that ocean of possibilities is within us. Yeah, so it's about possibilities. It's about possibilities that come up with awareness. Today we are going to explore one such possibility of awareness, and how do we center ourselves to that shore, to that sand, to that waves, and to our feet on the ground. So this is our practice for today's session that we are going to share. And once again, a very warm welcome to our Science of Mind Club. The agenda of this club has always been to share some knowledge with you every Sunday. If you are ready to commit your time, some patient listening, some really mindful habits that you're ready to form, that is where we are going to share more and more. So, I think it is today the 10th session where we are sharing some of the techniques. I'll be kind of also looking at the format of this entire program. We'll also tweak it a little bit so that it becomes all the more engaging. Some of you have said that when do we get to see you, or when do we get to see some of the guests on the podcast, on the show, on this class. Definitely, our intention is to bring the teachers or experts from the fields of psychology, neurolinguistic programming, mindfulness, and all such healing modalities to you so that you become better day after day. Yeah, and that is our intention to help and to foster a community of leaders who are coaches, who are helpers, who are change makers. And every Sunday, we'll equip them with some or the other ideas that can help them kickstart their journey or get ahead in the way of becoming the better self. And some of the areas that we have chosen, some positive psychology techniques, some techniques from the fields like neurolinguistic programming, and some of the cutting edge research on the mind sciences and mindfulness. This is what we are going to focus on. This initiative is pro bono. I'm doing it on my Sundays. There is no charge for it, and it is always going to be free. Only what we want you to do is just to pay it forward. Share these ideas so that it can help others. Yeah, and if you're still curious, you just have to raise your hand. There is a whole community of positive people who are ready to support you, be it leadership, be it coaching, be it psychology and the mind sciences. Our intention is that first you learn, apply, share, and transform your life, and then you do it with others. And that's how the community grows. That's how the world changes, one person at a time, one conversation at a time. Yeah, if you want to know more, there is a website we have put together, but always, always, always stay curious and be curious is what we want. Okay. So I'm going to share with you a technique. And before that technique, I'll share with you a story. And the story is very personal to me. This is from my life, actually. Well, while I was growing up, there was a lot of focus on studies. And I think some of you who are listening to this podcast or listening or tuned into um, our class, they know that the story I have shared with some of you earlier. That as a kid, I was not so great at studies, and in India, especially the place where I belong, there is a lot of focus on studies. There's a lot of focus on academic success, to speak. So one fine day, I was just wondering that why I'm not doing well academically, why I'm not able to kind of learn and grow in my life. And that time, some of my very close friends knew that I had a little bit of a problem focusing and concentrating, because that time I used to have, what later on I came to know is something that we call as dyslexia. Whenever I was sitting in a class, I used to see that these numbers are floating around, just like a popular movie in India that we have. I was in my own dream world. Maybe that was also the reason why I was not able to concentrate on the studies. And it used to be so much so that the exams were always an anxiety moment for me, and I was always dreaded to take the class test, all those things. And some of the young listeners who are at this phase of student life, phase of their life, they might be connecting to what I'm saying. What something really unique happened when I was in that particular phase of my life. One day I was just standing, and there was this senior of mine, and she was like, I think a year older. She came and she said that how you're preparing for the exam. And I said that I'm just doing what everybody else is doing. And she said, no, there is a way to kind of prepare. Maybe you have to take some extra classes. Maybe you have to buy some books and study well. Are you doing that? So I said that no, I don't know all of that. So what she said is that, see, look, I don't have much time, but what I can do for you is I'll get you something. And I was wondering that whether she really intends to help, or is she just, trying to make me feel a little bit more miserable. But to my surprise, the next day, she gave me a lot of her older books, which she has herself studied. And when I went back and I started studying those books, I realized that after the day is over and you reach this space where, maybe you are on your own and you have a little bit of a free time, and that is the time when you are in a mindful zone. And in that mindful zone, I just picked up one of those books and I started flipping pages, and I saw that her handwriting was very good. And there was a very positive quote written on it. Okay? And I'm going to share that positive quote with you in a while. But then, that is where my curiosity started. I started reading those pages, but more importantly, I started tuning into myself. And that is where I could understand that I was able to mindfully shape my experience, change my state from an anxious state to a very, very focused, mindful, powerful state. This is what we are going to talk about today, that how do we tap into those positive states? Yeah. So tapping into that positive state is, for example, you see, this is a very beautiful picture. Again, some or the other reason we are going back to the beaches and the shores of the world. Yeah, which is in my mind also the shores of our experience, where we can tap into our inner resources, where we reach the border of our conscious mind and we tap into the unconscious, which is full of possibility. When you go into a shore and you're walking on the shore, you realize that your slippers are full of the sand and then sometimes pebbles and sometimes all of this. But the moment when you decide to kind of leave everything, get out of those slippers and experience that moment within you, that moment around you, you are able to tap into that potential. Okay, so this is exactly what we are going to talk about today, that how do we kind of tune into something in ourselves which is larger than ourselves, which is about possibility. How do we do that? There's a very simple need to do that. And what we want to leave you with today is, how do you drive positivity in those states? How do you change your state basically from a mental state which is full of confusion, a mental state which is full of anxiety, or a mental state which is full of fear, to a mental state which is full of confidence, clarity, possibility? It is about that. And last time we shared a concept with you. If you have not watched that video, I encourage you to go ahead and watch that video, because the powerful concept of anchoring is there. And this technique that we are going to share with you today is also rooted in anchoring, although it is a very meditative technique. But, friends, in my own research, what I have found is that there is a very thin line between a useful technique being also called as a meditative technique, which means science, philosophy, psychology, and let's say technology, all of this gets coincided in one point after some time when you practice it for a little bit more. That is where, when some of these experts, when they're in the flow of their work, it is part science, but mostly it becomes an art. If you were to tap into the state of yours, which is going to help you drive the right positive behavior in your mind, is where you need an anchor, a powerful, powerful reminder for you, things back to that state. And this is meditation. And this is, being in that meditative moment where, and I have a very simple definition for meditation. It's not something which is spiritual. It is not something which is religious. Meditation, if even if you are not a follower of spirituality or any particular religion or any kind of meditative practice, a very simple definition of meditation is something that connects you with your higher self, or with your best self, or the highest possibilities in your life. When you're in that reflective zone, thinking about how you can be better, what is kind of a future that emerges in that moment, I think that is meditation for you, where you are looking for possibilities. You are just tapping into your mind's resources in a very reflective way. Okay? And there's no hard and fast rule that it has to be done in a particular way. There are people who said that taking a walk is meditative, or a workout in a gym is meditative, or just like this picture, sitting at the beach, looking at the sunset, and just thinking about yourself, your life, and how do you want to make it better can be meditative. But one thread which is common in all of this is that we want to tap into something which is a latent power, a superpower of your mind, of your unconscious mind, is what we want to do now. So, how do you do that? If you want to practice this technique, wherever you are sitting, you can just sit straight. If it is a chair on which you are sitting, maybe if it is a chair, you can just keep your feet on the ground, keep them relaxed. If it is a bed, you can just sit normally, sit upright. Keep your hands on your lap or on the arms of the chair. Be very, very relaxed. Now focus on your breathing. This is what we are going to say 4 times to ourselves. This is like a mantra. It's not a mantra which is particular to a particular belief, but this is a mantra which is like a command that you give to yourself. This deeply relaxed state. All right, so let's do that. Take a inhale. Just say this in your mind. Deeply relax. Or relax. Inhale. Say this in your mind. Hold your breath and then exhale deeply. Deeply relax. Next one. Take another breath, going all the way deeper into relaxation. When you fill your lungs with that positive, refreshing oxygen, you say this in your mind 10 times louder in your mind. Deeply relax. And exhale. The third time, we inhale again. Say the mantra in your mind, deeply relax. And you exhale. And this time, just imagine a state which is all the more deeper, all the more relaxed, all the more positive. And you breathe in that energy giving oxygen, fill it in your lungs, let it give you all that energy, all that positivity, which is true to your being. And you say it in your mind, be relaxed. So, friends, just by saying this 4 times and focusing on your breathing, just look at your state. Now, the state of mind that we have right now is a very, very centered state of mind where our focus and attention has come to our breathing. And just by saying the words, whatever these words mean to you, deeply and relaxed, we are in a very relaxed state of mind. Some people call it relaxation, some people they call it meditation, some people they call it flow, a state of flow, where you have the power of your attention and the power of your intention both together with you, and any work that you can do now will be half of the effort, twice the focus, and 4 times the results that it gives you, because it is all about staying relaxed, staying positive, and well connected all your resources, which are part of your conscious mind and your unconscious. And this conscious mind is helping you consciously look at things. When it gets overloaded with information, overloaded with anxiety, overloaded with fear, that is where our conscious mind gets unconscious. Yeah. And just to bring yourself back in the present moment, and just to bring yourself back to the positivity and the possibilities within you, you have to tap into your unconscious mind, which is full of these resources related to relaxation, related to positivity, related to positive. And for that, you have to bring yourself to a point where you are mindful that there were these states in your life, there were these zones in your life where you were able to tap into immense energy, immense creativity, immense possibility for yourself. So this is what I want you to do, is that whenever you want to focus in your day, in your week, on something important, where you want to kind of bring your whole being, the fabric of whole being that you have, every molecule, every atom, every cell of your being back in the present moment. This is when you can give yourself this mantra, this command, that you want to deeply relax and be deeply focused. And this kind of a state of mind is a really positive state of mind, which helps you not only get the most out of the present moment, but also to get the most out of your routine or your present moment or your habit in the least energetic way, which means you don't have to struggle that much. Everything flows in easily in that. Psychologists call this state as the state of flow. Yeah. So there's nothing so great about this. But then what is great is that this simple technique helps you tap into the greatness within you. So all that greatness, all that energy, all that possibility is not in the tool. The tool is a mean to the end. The technique is a mean to the end. But it is about your experience. It is about your focus, your intention, and your attention. And the quote that I read on that book that my senior gave me, lady gave me, that changed my way of thinking, was a quote by Edwin Markham, where Edwin says, "For all your days prepare, and meet them ever alike, when you are the anvil bearer, and you are the hammer strike." It means that at times we have to bring our attention and intention like a strike of a hammer on the task, like a laser sharp focus. And something that in us can help us achieve that is this possibility of greatness, is this possibility of intention and attention and awareness, which lies in all of us. Okay? So you have arrived and you are home. Being at home means being at peace with yourself, knowing that you are an exceptional human being. You are a human being who has immense potential. And at this moment, when you are relaxed, you are connected with that self, you realize that you are not a human being having a spiritual experience, but you are a spiritual being having a human experience. This is the world of possibilities that open up to you when you tap into your best self. Create that best self. You have to sometimes create those sacred spaces around you and tap into that potential. Yeah. You have arrived, you're at home, you're deeply relaxed, and in that relaxed state, now you can achieve. I hope that the technique that I shared with you was helpful for you to relax on this Sunday morning and was helpful for you as a takeaway to go back and apply and see that how refreshing, revitalizing, and energizing our life becomes when we simply tap into the power of breath and power of clarity of our mind. This is what I wanted to share with you today, and I wish you all the very best on your journey. And in the next phase of our journey, which will mean the next 10 sessions or so that we are planning, is when I'm going to kind of invite more guests, and you will have an opportunity to ask your questions and get their answers. There will be some questions that you can directly write on the email to us or leave on the comment section, and we'll be sharing with our guests. As I promised, these guests will be the experts in the field of psychology, neurolinguistic programming, some of the healing modalities, as well as psychotherapy. Yeah, and I'm also thinking of inviting, like I did a poll on WhatsApp, and some of you said that why don't you also invite some authors as well as trainers who can help us in picking up life skills and professional skills. Yes, this is in plan, and I definitely have I'm connected with some of the great mentors and teachers in this field, and it will be not a very good thing for me to just hold that information to myself, because the purpose of this Sunday club is that we share a lot. So, so I think the time has come when I will be inviting some of them on this podcast on this Sunday class, and they will be sharing with you. So that is the big change that you're going to find in the next video onwards or the next class onwards for those of you who tune into the Sunday class. And yeah, share it with more and more people so that it reaches others. We, by the way, we will be sharing techniques, because just like today's technique we shared, going further, we'll be sharing more and more techniques, and I'll invite all these experts, all these teachers and healers to share their technique with us so that people listening can get some benefit and some real takeaway which they can go back and apply. Yeah. So that you take care of those around you, take care of your friends, your family, your parents, and you keep on learning, keep on listening. And this is a fun journey that we'll take together. Yeah. And if any of you would like to kind of build this further, if you feel that these videos are helping, these topics are helping, feel free to share it with others, and can also comment, and you can also share with others and subscribe. And if at all you require any personal help, as a token of gratitude, as a thank you from my side, I will also be kind of doing some one-on-one coaching for people, but that will only be available on Sunday as it is a pro bono initiative. This is just on Sunday that I have blocked few hours on my calendar. And if you have any of these areas where you are looking for some help, I'll be more than happy to help you as a coach. Yeah. So, what are the areas? Again, the same agenda goes throughout, but giving you the specific areas like mindfulness for removing pain, mindfulness for removing fear and anxiety. It's like the technique that we did today. It was a mindful technique which helped us focus on the breathing and get rid of the anxiety in the moment and clear our head and be centered in our possibilities. So there are techniques and there are advanced level techniques as well, which I'll be able to share and coach you if you have a problem in that area. NLP techniques, friends, have been really, really useful and helpful for people to get the right weight, get the weight in control, quit habits, negative habits like smoking or any other habit that they want to change. So NLP is a beautiful way in which we can use a technique from NLP and remodel our behavior. Okay, so if any of these areas like weight loss or quitting a habit, I can help you out with that. And the positive psychology, because my qualification is that I am a psychologist, and I've been practicing pro bono in a lot of not profit organizations. And I'll be happy to help you if you want to achieve your goals. If there is a personal or professional target that you have set for yourself, with my 20 years of experience, I can help you uh, gain some perspective that how you can move faster towards your goal and how you can prepare yourself better and finally achieve success. So this is in nutshell is an offering that I want to make out of gratitude for all of you for listening, as well as people who really want to grow. And in a way, people think that why I'm doing it, just like somebody helped me out, it's now my responsibility to kind of pay it forward. Okay, so I'm not doing it Monday to Friday. I'm just focusing on Sundays where I'm offering this as a pro bono initiative. And one of my coaches recently said, and he's a master coach, and he said that, Anupam, that you need to remember that whenever a tree has got a lot of fruits, it's the responsibility of the tree to bow down and share it with others. I'm not saying that I feel that I am the one who is offering this, but then I feel really, really humbled. Thanks to my coaches, thanks to my mentors and my teachers, all those who helped me, that now I want to be in a position to kind of help you out if at all you need anything as a support, as somebody to listen to you and to coach you. You can definitely WhatsApp me on that number which is there on the screen. These sessions are confidential, free, pro bono sessions, and you can take advantage of them on a Sunday. Yeah. So, on that note, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patient listening. And I hope that you learned something and you will be able to apply it to make yourself better. All right, friends, thank you, and you have a great day ahead. Cheers.